TikTok, TikTok. Nice to see you. Hey, let me know where you're watching from. That's always the best part of joining my live stream. Sorry, I'm trying to get the other social medias on board here. Banners. Join the banner. There we go. Hi, welcome TikTok. I'm Dr. Wendy Walsh. I'm America's relationship expert. I have the other social. Hi from Hawaii. Hi, Kentucky. Let me know where you're watching from. It's always exciting. See, I'm trying to let me see if I can slide up so I can see your comments better. Here we go. Oh, Montreal. Bonsoir. Ça va? Who else we got here? Boston. I'm going to be in Boston in a few weeks for my daughter's graduation, 2 years after the fact. We're finally doing it. Hi, Brooklyn. How are you? We're in California. I'm in California. Nice to see you, California. If you're coming on board over here in the other social media, let me open up your comments so I can see you. Here we go. Comments. Can't post comments to some destinations. Learn more. I don't know what that means. Usia. Where's that? Hi, tell me where you're watching from. And this is my live stream. I'm America's relationship expert. Hello, Yvonne from San Diego. Nice to see you. If you have any questions about matters of the heart, your love life, your relationships, I'm here to answer them for a few minutes before I go over to my Patreon Zoom room. Let me see if I can get those together. So I would love to say hello and find out that vasectomies are reversible. Make men prove they can support a child before reproducing. Wouldn't that be great? I actually have a friend who made an amazing documentary on trying to change like a law to try to make vasectomies mandatable. If a man has he owes more than $10,000 in back child support and he has more than like 10 kids or something. There are men out there with 13 to 17 kids who don't even know their names, and the state is supporting them. How do you get past an adult child that was once close to you and now they're estranged? You wait. You focus on yourself. You get the social support you need for you. You continue to keep the doors of communication open. You don't make them feel guilty for the distance. You tell them you love them, you'll always love them, and that you're here for them. This will pass. I feel it. Am I single? No. I have a fabulous boyfriend. I met him on Bumble, actually. He's great. So no, I'm not single. But if you have any questions, this is the time to ask them. I just do a live for just 15 minutes. And then at 6:30, I go over to my private Patreon Zoom room. If you've never come to my Patreon community, I highly encourage you to do so. You just go to patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. That's patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. When is the next time you'll be on TV? I miss seeing you on TV shows. Well, I've been called a lot for court TV lately, but this week is a little hectic because I'm in grading season. You know, professors have a couple weeks, twice a year at the end of semester where we're busy trying to grade all the homework assignments. We're trying to calculate everything. And so our last week of formal classes is this week, and next week I'll have my head down. But I think I'm going to do court TV next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow. I'll do them talking again about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Oh, there's Sai. How are you? He calls me his YouTube wife, which is kind of funny because I don't know him. Question, should I move on? I don't know what happened. What are the best techniques to decrease codependent personality traits? Well, codependent isn't a personality trait. It's a kind of relationship and tends to be people who have either a borderline personality disorder, narcissism, that they've suffered trauma early in life. And so what ends up happening is the brain gets addicted, and fear of abandonment and fear of loss is more important to them to even than getting their own needs met. So the answer is to definitely go to therapy and talk to a therapist about this because it's hard to fix. Oh, this is a great question from Kip. Hi, Kip. How do you figure out if you have a fear of commitment or just haven't met the right one yet? Well, I guess the answer would be to assess what you experience emotionally. Like, in other words, when that person talks about, some kind of commitment, whether it's sexual exclusivity, whether it's becoming a public couple, whether it's actually, moving in together or getting engaged or something, what does it feel like to your body? Do you actually feel some feeling of fear? And is at that moment they go, maybe they're not so great anyway, and you rationalize it? Saya says, I look tired today. Do I look tired? No, I just don't have as much makeup on as I usually do. That's all. I just came back from a nice 2-hour bike ride at the beach, and it was so windy. I had tears coming, black mascara tears coming down my face. Maybe that's what you're seeing. I want to read this. I went on 2 awesome dates, totally connected. Then he texted me, he isn't over his ex, but wants to stay with you, seeing you, or his ex. If he's not over his ex, move along, right? He's being very honest with you and telling you, don't even move forward, don't fall in love with hope, etc. It's okay. Sometimes people test the waters and see what it's like to be single. Don't take it personally. When 2 people are not a good match, it doesn't mean that they both can't be good people and really good mates for other people. The act of finding a good mate is eliminating most mates. And it can't beat up your self-esteem. So can someone be a people pleaser and a narcissist? Well, let me say this. There are 2 kinds of narcissists, right? There are malignant narcissists and there are compensatory narcissists. Compensatory narcissists are basically trying to compensate for extreme feelings of low self-worth. So they often appear on the outside to be these great caregivers and taking care of others and fixing their problems, but really it's just so they will be liked. They don't actually have empathy for the other person, or they do it in a very visible way so that it will all look good on them. Now, a malignant narcissist is somebody who basically says, I feel so much pain, I'm not going to be happy until I inject that pain into you. I want you to feel my pain. A compensatory narcissist says, I don't want you to see how low I feel about myself. Okay, I'll take it down. Okay, here we go. I'll put Saiz up because he always has lots of questions. Am I a night owl? Do I like staying up late? No, I do not. I'm a morning person, and it is 6 o'clock at night, and I'm having my 3rd latte to just stay up till 10, okay? And I sleep from 10 till 6. That's my schedule. And it's a good latte. Okay. Any more questions up there? I'm watching TikTok now to see what we got. Oh, it's been sliding along. Thank you for your kind words. Went on 4 dates, had a great time, texted him 2 days ago, but he didn't even read. Should I move on? Yeah, that's called being ghosted. And also, who is the leader and the chaser in this? Because you have to, sometimes you have to let some time go by and see if they chase you, just to test it out at the beginning. There's always a kind of unknowing at the beginning that you have to be able to tolerate. My boyfriend and I are went too fast. Let's see if I can slide back. Come on. No, I do not have a private practice. I am a psychology professor. I teach developmental psychology. I teach psychology of health counseling, and I teach introduction to psychology at California State University, Channel Islands. I've been reading about and studying the science of love for about 3 decades, though, and I've written many books about it. And my dissertation was all about attachment. So I do have a private coaching business. It's not for everybody because it's quite expensive, and that's why I keep a Patreon community that is very inexpensive. As little as $8 a month, you can get my podcast, my articles, my books, and me on a private Zoom room to ask me anything. So you can go to patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh, or if you want to send me an email and book a private session, I do Zoom and telephone, sure. We can do that. And you can find me through my website. Can you taste some of my latte? It's an interesting question. Why am I finding women in need? Once they have what they need, they blame me and are gone. Have to figure out what the needs are and why is it that you're attracted to people who seem needy or insecure at the beginning. What is that tweaking for you? My boyfriend and I are very different in many big ways. I love him tremendously and don't know what to do. Well, it depends what those differences are, right? Mm, Opposites attract when it comes to personalities. We know that introverts love extroverts, and vice versa. But your basic core values should be on the same page. Your values about morals, about maybe religiosity, marriage, children, family, whatever your values are, they better be this on the same page or you're going to have big problems. Okay, watching for other questions. Oh, thank you for the big hug. That's very nice. If you're just tuning in, I'm Dr. Wendy Welsh. I'm America's relationship expert. I'm a psychology professor who's been studying the science of love for 3 decades. And you can ask me any question you like about your love life. Tonight in our private Zoom room that I'm going to start at 6:30 in about 20 minutes, we're going to talk about the neuroscience of trauma bonds and what happens to the brain to make it really sticky. We have been together nearly 2 years. He doesn't compliment me anymore and only wants physical affection. Have you brought that up? You know, you can't get your needs met unless you know how, not nag, not beg, but if you know how to express them in a healthy way, in a way that you believe that you deserve your needs to be met. So if somebody's not meeting your needs, you start by saying, hey, this is what I'd like to see. And if you're giving up this physical affection and he's not doing the things that he used to do, you could say, what's going on with you? What's different with us? How are you feeling? So that you can start the conversation. He's very nervous around me and he's expressed that. Now he doesn't ask me out anymore, but still texts me. If that's enough for you, then go for it. But my feeling is if somebody's just in a texting relationship with you, that's not a relationship. It's a fantasy. Stop it. You either meet in the real world and have a relationship or let it go. Otherwise, you might as well be reading a romance novel. Okay, let's stop with that. Okay, so this person said, my husband of 9 years would give me the world, but I haven't been in love with him for years. Now, we need to stop and understand the stages of love. You're talking about lust. You're talking about in early attraction. So what happens is in the early stages of a relationship, you feel this cocktail of neurohormones that is so delicious, right? There's oxytocin and dopamine and even norepinephrine. It's exciting. You can stay up all night or whatever. And then after a while, your brain gets used to those neurohormones and then it becomes calm and safe and secure. Now, what smart couples do over time is they learn to continue to add novelty to their relationship. Now, novelty doesn't mean that you're necessarily swinging from the chandeliers and having new sex positions, so that might be some novelty. It may simply mean doing different things together, trying different restaurants or museums or physical activities, exercising. My boyfriend and I, in the middle of the day, just went out for a big bike ride for a couple hours at the beach, and it was really nice in the middle of the week for no reason. Not even quite the middle. It's only Tuesday. But I said, let's play hooky. Let's get off our computers and go for a bike ride. So try to do more novel things with your relationship and you'll feel that your feelings of love will come back. Interesting question from Christina. What's too much or too little communication when first dating someone? Well, everybody's different, right? I know there is a time at the very beginning where there is not a lot of consistency and a person may take a little longer to respond because they're playing a little cooler and a little bit hard to get. But what's most important is that you see reciprocity, right? So if one person's doing most of the texting or most of the talking or most of the calling and they're not getting as much back, then that's a sign that the other person isn't investing as much in this. So while, you know, I will say this, too much communication is you just meet somebody and like every single day you're suddenly texting and, you know, chill, be a little cool, take a day off, be okay, right? Slow down a bit. It honestly, people will say that their relationships are more exciting when they slowed everything down. So don't be afraid to slow things down. Too little, of course, is if it's a new relationship and you're really into them and you text them or call them and you don't hear from them for 3 or 4 days. Like, come on, that's not reciprocal. You want to kind of show that you like each other and give them some attention, but also show that you can contain yourself and have a bit of a backbone. Sai says, I need to go. You have my number. I don't have your number. I don't know where you are in the world. I hope you don't have my number. That's kind of creepy. Okay. You're having trouble getting over a relationship. You have feels. This is normal. It takes time for the brain to adjust after a breakup. It's like withdrawal from a drug, the neurohormones of attachment. You're not going to like it, but the research shows that when they ask people to just picture their exes being a really terrible, harmful person, that it reframes things in their brain, and the brain doesn't want to go back to it. And also distracting yourself with someone new. That's why people like, we broke up and he's already on the dating apps and he's already, yeah, that's how we heal ourselves, right? We go out and find a new mate rather quickly, even if it's not for a long term, if it's just a rebound mate. That's very common and it's fine. Okay, I'm going to go over to my Patreon Zoom room that starts in 15 minutes. You still have a few minutes to join. If you like, scroll through the post so you can find the Zoom link to come on. You go to patreon.com, patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. We have a private Zoom room. If you're shy, you can keep your camera off and you can ask me anything. We get together every Tuesday night at 6:30. So good to see you all. We will see you over on Patreon. Thanks for being here. Bye, TikTok.